June 17th, 1775, Breed's Hill, Massachusetts. British redcoats advance up the slope in perfect formation. Bayonets fixed. Colonial militia waits behind hastily built earthworks, clutching muskets with shaking hands. Then, from a concealed position on the ridgeline, something opens fire that doesn't exist yet. 43 Marines with night vision, suppressed rifles, and thermal optics, about to face the most disciplined army on Earth with weapons that won't be invented for 250 years. It didn't start with a battle. It started with a crack in time. Hidden in the woods north of Boston, dug into fighting positions with camouflage netting, sits a modern Marine rifle platoon. M4 carbines, M27 infantry automatic rifles, night vision, drones, about to hit the British Army at the beginning of the American Revolution. They have no reinforcements, no resupply, only what they carry, and 7 days of batteries. And just remember, this is a sandbox what-if. We're not dealing with time travel. We're not aiming for perfect realism. So could one platoon change the American Revolution? Or do they just run out of bullets before the war even starts? Let's find out. So what just got dropped into 1775? A modern Marine rifle platoon. 43 riflemen split into 3 squads. Each Marine carries an M4 carbine or M27 IAR with optics, suppressors, and night vision. M18 sidearms, grenades, radios, thermal imaging. Effective range, 600 meters for accurate fire, 800 if the shooter's good. They see in the dark, thermal optics turn night into day. Night vision turns moonlight into broad daylight. Ammunition, each Marine carries 7 30-round magazines. That's 210 rounds per man. 9,000 rounds total for the platoon. Sounds like a lot? It's not. But it's not invincible. No resupply. Once those 9,000 rounds are gone, the M4s are just expensive clubs. No batteries. Night vision and thermal optics run on power. 7 days if they ration carefully. After that, they're fighting in the dark like everyone else. No air support, no satellite navigation, no medevac. The platoon gets 1 week. Then it's muskets and bayonets like everyone else. Now let's look at what they're up against. June 1775. The British Army, the most professional military force on Earth. Disciplined, trained, battle-hardened from wars across Europe and the colonies. Their weapon, the Brown Bess musket, .75 caliber smoothbore, muzzle-loaded flintlock. Effective range, maybe 100 yards. Accurate? Not really. Rate of fire, 3 rounds per minute if the soldier's well-trained. But they don't rely on accuracy. They rely on volume. Line infantry firing in volleys, 2 ranks deep, overlapping fields of fire. Bayonet charges. Disciplined formations that don't break. Their tactics worked for a century. Tight formations, coordinated volleys, close with the bayonet. Terrify the enemy with discipline and cold steel. Against colonial militia with muskets? Devastating. Against Marines with suppressed rifles and thermal optics? They're marching into a slaughterhouse. How do you use 43 Marines to change a war? 3 options. Option A, join Washington's army directly. Fight alongside the Continental Army. Share tactics. Noble, ineffective. Washington's officers don't understand suppressed fire or night vision. The Marines end up standing in line formations firing volleys. Wasted. Option B, train the militia. Teach them modern tactics, marksmanship, small unit maneuvers. It worked for the Green Berets in Vietnam, but here? No time. Militia can barely load a musket properly. Teaching fire and movement takes months. They've got a week. So they choose option C, decapitation strikes. Hit British leadership, officers, supply depots, command posts. Use night vision to strike when the British can't see. Suppressed fire from ranges they can't match. Disappear before they even know what happened. Not to win battles, to collapse British command structure. Make them afraid to move at night. Force them to pull back. And in a world lit only by torches and moonlight, the Marines own the darkness. June 18th, 0230 hours, British camp outside Boston. A British supply depot sits behind the main camp. Ammunition, powder, food stores. guarded by 24 redcoats with torches and muskets. The Marines approach from downwind. Night vision turns the camp into green daylight. Thermal imaging picks out every guard. Range, 300 meters. Suppressed fire, 3-round bursts. Guards drop silently. No alarm raised, no shots heard. The Marines plant C4 on the powder magazine. 30-second fuse. They're 400 meters away when the depot erupts. The explosion is visible from Boston. Secondary detonations cook off for 20 minutes. By dawn, the British have no ammunition for 3 regiments. No investigation, no witnesses, just a crater and bodies. June 20th, 03:15 hours. Officers' quarters. British commanders sleep in a commandeered farmhouse. 6 senior officers planning the assault on Dorchester Heights. The Marines infiltrate using thermal imaging to avoid patrols, suppressed rifles. The sentries outside never hear the shots that drop them. Flashbang through the window. The room erupts in blinding light and concussive sound. The Marines breach. Officers freeze, half-dressed, reaching for swords they'll never draw. Zip-tied, gagged, left unconscious. Total time inside, 4 minutes. 6 senior officers captured. No alarms. By morning they're gone, handed over to Continental forces who can't explain how they got them. British command structure fractures. Junior officers promoted beyond their experience. Attack plans delayed. June 23rd, night raid on supply convoy. A British supply convoy moves at night from the harbor to the camp. Wagons, guards with torches. They think darkness protects them. Thermal imaging spots them from 800 meters away. The Marines set up an ambush along the tree line. First shot, lead officer on horseback, drops silently. The convoy stops, confused. They heard nothing, see nothing, just their officer lying dead. Second volley, suppressed fire into the wagon guards. 10 seconds, 15 guards down. Panic. The drivers abandon wagons and flee into the darkness. The Marines burn the supplies and vanish. By dawn, the British find 20 wagons destroyed, 17 men dead, and not a single witness who can explain what happened. June 25th, final strike. The Marines have 2,000 rounds left, batteries at 40%. They've got one more night. British forces mass for a final assault on colonial positions. 3,000 troops, organized, determined. The Marines hit them the night before, 0200 hours. Thermal imaging picks out officer clusters, command tents, artillery positions, suppressed fire from multiple angles. Officers drop. Ammunition dumps explode from planted charges. Artillery crews scatter. By 0400, the British formation is in chaos. No command structure, no coordination. When dawn comes, the assault is cancelled. The Marines extract. Batteries dead. Ammunition at 300 rounds. Mission complete. So could one Marine platoon change the American Revolution? Yes, but not the way you think. What they accomplish? 30 to 40 British officers killed or captured. 3 major supply depots destroyed. 1 planned assault completely disrupted. Psychological terror spreading through British ranks. Reports of demon soldiers striking from darkness. That alone forces the British to pull back, delays their offensive by weeks, gives Washington time to fortify positions and recruit. What they can't do, 9,000 rounds. After a week of fighting, ammunition's almost gone. 7 days of batteries. After that, no night vision, no thermal. They're just regular infantry. No medical support. One serious injury? No medevac. No modern surgery. They can't win the war. Can't stop every British attack. Can't be everywhere. It changes specific battles, not the war itself, but the psychological impact. For the British, it's terror. Officers dying from invisible fire. Camps destroyed without warning. Sentries found dead with no sound fired. Some units refuse night duty. For the Continental Army, it's a miracle. British officers captured without explanation. Supplies destroyed by unknown forces. Morale surges. For the generals, confusion. British intelligence scrambles to explain casualties that don't match musket wounds, burn patterns that don't match anything in 1775. The American Revolution still takes 8 years, but certain battles shift. The siege of Boston ends weeks earlier. British casualties climb. Some officers refuse to take the field, and when it's over, one Marine platoon walks into General Washington's camp with empty magazines and dead batteries. They try to explain. Nobody believes them. The gear gets locked away, studied by men who understand none of it. By 1780, some Continental riflemen start using tactics that won't be formalized until the 1940s. Small unit maneuvers, suppressing fire, night operations. Did one platoon win the American Revolution? No. Did it change how the war was fought? Absolutely. Could a modern platoon fight in the American Revolution? For about a week, 9,000 rounds. Then it's over. But that week plants ideas that take root for centuries. One platoon, one mission, and proof that superior tactics don't win wars alone, but they sure as hell tilt the odds. Thanks for watching.